Back in Australia touring, the two original members of this terrific band are with us this morning, Francis Rossi and Rick Parford. Rick, welcome to the show. Frank, welcome. That's the crew, by the way. They're so thrilled to
appreciative lot.
So, how many years together?
36, 37 now, something like that.
Well, as the...
We don't count anymore, you know.
As the... Well, and it's amazing, too, that, I mean, all of those years later, you're still here. Not only that, but also talking to each other, which is quite an achievement.
Well, we are at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
Well, we're on air.
Yeah, of course.
We're on air.
Haven't spoken, of course, in probably 7 or 8 years.
No, of course not. Yeah, 7 or 8 hours, anyway.
Francis, the start of Status Quo, how did it all come about? I mean, you two guys were the blokes responsible.
We met in 1965 in a place called Butlins, and that's how the relationship between us two came about. But the band was formed in 1962 originally. But most things are taken from 65 when we got to know each other, as it were. And we kind of went on and on and on and on from there.
I suppose the question obviously asked of you all the time, how have you managed to do it for so long? And I suppose if you really knew the secret, you'd be managing a lot of bands that go on forever.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't think about it too much. I think it's best.
Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, don't try and mend anything that isn't broken, you know. So we take it day to day, you know, week by week, and it just goes on.
How long since you've been in Australia?
2 years.
2 years the last time, yeah.
Because it's a good country for you, isn't it? A lot of records sold here.
It's a good country for anybody. It's nice to be here. Come on, it's a lovely place.
Everybody says it's cold, you know, but for us it's not. It's really warm for us.
Yeah. You're married to a Patty, aren't you?
Yeah.
So am I. And it's a rather interesting tale too, because you've been married to her twice.
That's right. Yeah.
How long was the break in between?
Oh God, I don't know. 10 years or so.
Doesn't happen
like
too
that.
often, you know. They say there's nothing new, and that's pretty close to being not unique, but
well,
you know,
we're sort of pals, you know, and that means a lot, doesn't it? You know, if you're sort of friends with one another, you know.
Yeah. And she understands you.
Well, she tries to, but I think she has a tough time a lot of the time. But
I find most Patties are understanding. There's the occasional one that sometimes.
She doesn't like being called Pat, though. I don't know about yours.
If you call her Pat, that's the... If I want a break, if I want to have a week off the whole thing, all I do is call her Pat and she walks out.
If I call her Pat, she calls me Dick.
Yeah,
so.
well, that's right. Fair enough. Well, Patty's never done that.
It's not meant in a flattering way either, I don't think.
Something to do with you old. Yeah. You've got 8 children?
Yes, have I. Yes, I have, yeah. I'm good at that.
So what age difference?
I start at 35 and the little one's 6.
That's wonderful.
So
you have 2 children, I think.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
How old are they?
27 and 13.
What do they think about Dad's music?
They love it. Oh, they love coming to the concerts live. I think most of the kids do, don't they? They all come along, you know, and you see them up there, and they really love it, to see it live. I mean, it must be fantastic for them. I mean, if I think when I was young, I mean, if I was good to go along and see my dad doing something like that, it would have been marvellous, I think. Well,
the media always talks about the exceptions when sons and daughters, you know, have a problem with their dad or mum being famous. But I find that the great majority of kids, so long as they can get into their 20s, you know, with reasonable health and, you know, and a good attitude, they're invariably thrilled that they were brought up in the manner in which they were.
They kind of grow up with it and they get kind of used to it. My oldest boy said something once, you know, because he knows quite a lot of famous people, and said that, you know, somebody said to him, "Doesn't it freak you out?" And you know, and he said, "No, because I've been, you know, like that all my life, you know, and meeting famous people." So I suppose in that respect, it's pretty good, you know.
You're going to perform for us this morning. Can't tell you how thrilled it is for all of us to have you here on GMA on this Monday morning, this Easter Monday morning. The other guys are going to join you soon, the newer ones, not necessarily the younger ones, but it's great to see you both. Thanks for coming in. Thank you, Francis. Francis Rossi and Rick Parford, of course, from Status Quo, and they're with us very soon to perform. The dates to go, get along and see them. Fantastic performers, great music, of course, and for all age groups, which I was just mentioning to one of the boys, to Rick, that it was terrific last concert a couple of years ago to see every demographic represented.